What's going on, y'all? Your boy is out here riding. I'm bending some corners, as they say back where I'm from, in Detroit. Hey, I wanted to jump on here real quick and ask you guys a question. Is college still worth it? What do y'all think? Today I want to talk to you guys about what my thoughts are about college, especially as I feel like the economy is in a really crazy space right now, and I feel like the job market is in a crazy place right now. So y'all jumping into this topic, it's a topic that I feel like that begs conversation, and y'all gonna have to forgive me and excuse me. I'm used to being at the crib or used to being set up somewhere, but I'm on the move this weekend. We got a bunch of family coming into town, got a lot of activities. We got a baby shower this weekend. Y'all know baby Harness or baby H is on the way. But in the meantime, I want to talk about this topic. So when I think about it in a bare sense of college, I think about a couple of things. The first being that myself, I feel like college is still worth it. If I was getting ready to start a multi-billion-dollar corporation, right, I'm going to want someone with very specific skills. I want them to be able to do something very specific. I want them to be very analytical. I want them to be a good communicator. I want them to have also that college base or that theoretical base. So really the theoretical base, which is what you learn in college, right? And then I want them to have the practical base. And that's not discrediting anybody else who didn't go to college, but, and I may be a little bit biased, it's me having had the opportunity to learn the theory, work at corporations and work at places where I've actually really been in the mud, just getting it and learning how to do it, but also having the book knowledge. I think it makes a big difference. So I also think about how somebody, 9 times out of 10, if you went to college and you were thorough about it, meaning you leverage relationships, you learn some really good skills, you had some really good career development experiences, I feel like people who have had a chance to go to college and be thorough about it set themselves on the path to be high earners. And when I say that, I'm speaking very specific to, yes, what you're going to make for a salary, not just an hourly rate, but heck, even if we break it down to an hourly rate, usually someone who has that theoretical base is going to be respected much more, especially if you have some practical experience. Also, what comes into play is this: you start to get things like a compensation package. Like when I first started my first jobs out of college, and even now, the conversation is, okay, well, how much do we need to pay you for your skill? Not, you're just going to make this. Also, it's to make you a part of our team, we built a compensation package for you, right? So a compensation package, which includes the benefits, great, right? But then it's also the 401k, which is also amazing. And then the other piece, a lot of times you can, in so many cases, negotiate a sign-on bonus. Yes, a sign-on bonus, just like they do with the athletes. Now, I'm not saying that something like that doesn't happen for someone who did not go to college. However, if we look at statistics, statistically speaking, more times than not, someone who did go to college and that was thorough about it is offered a better compensation package and has the opportunity to be a high earner. When I think about education, education equals opportunity. I say that all the time. And not just from a standpoint of opportunity to make money, but it also helps you to get into more rooms. Again, not saying that that doesn't happen if you did not go to college. However, man, when I tell y'all, and I think about having been to college twice, and my experience going in for undergrad versus grad school or having a professional degree, if I travel just about anywhere in the world right now, I've leveraged relationships to the point where, if to give you an example, last time I went to Asia, a lot of you guys don't know this, but I've traveled to Asia before. I took a trip when I was working in the automotive industry to China and South Korea. And so when I was in South Korea, actually I was posting online, and one of my old classmates, he hit me and he says, "Hey man, I noticed you're in my city. I'm taking you out to dinner." I was like, okay, let's do it. So we went for a little Korean barbecue. I don't know if he follows me on social media or follows me here on YouTube, but my guy Minyak took me out for dinner, and we're out in South Korea. I'm out in South Korea on business. He took me out for dinner. We got to catch up. He talked to me about the local culture. He took me to one of his local places in his town, and it was just a great experience. I love that experience because it allowed me the chance to get a piece of what it was like to be in South Korea with a local, someone that I knew and had some level of connection with. To me, that is super powerful. And not to say you can't build that if you didn't go to college, but that's one thing I feel like that I took from the college experience and was able to build. There's a trend right now in the job market, and guys, comment and shoot me a comment if any of you guys have experienced this, because I have a lot of friends who are recruiters. I have a lot of people and know a lot of people in the market looking for new jobs. People want someone to have manager, director level experience and want to pay them at an analyst level. Like, are you kidding me? So with that being said, I believe this has to do with the fact that the market right now is saturated with job seekers. Either people who are unhappy at a specific company, or people who essentially don't have a job at all, or, just people looking for something new. And with that being said, the job market is saturated. So a lot of times companies can be very picky, and some of them tend to be very cheap. They want to go with the person who they can get the most out of at the least amount of money, right? But outside of that conversation, which is a whole different topic, the person with the best skills and the most education, 9 times out of 10 is going to get hired first, regardless of compensation. Let's take the topic of compensation out. The person that has the most experience, the most skills, and the most education will always get hired first. Y'all, also, as it's related to job seekers, something else to think about is that if things got real crazy at a specific job that you were working at, something to keep in mind is that if there's a round of layoffs that happen, usually a job structure is set up like this. You have usually, let's say at a manufacturing facility, people that are working at the plant level. This is what we call boots on the ground. So you are in the plant, you putting in those hours. Schedule can be long, can be hard, but you're making a pretty decent living working at the plant, and no shade to the plant workers. The next level is going to be that person who's managing and supervising them. Again, this person is usually going to have a little bit more experience, a little bit more education. Then the next tier is going to be, that's blue collar. Next is the white collar folks. The white collar folks, there's tiers of that as well. You have boots on the ground, white collar. That's you doing more tactical things, more day-to-day type of things. And then there's more of the strategy piece, where you have the most education. This is where you're getting into the executive realm. These are the people that get paid the most money. Now, let's say hypothetically at this facility or at this manufacturing company, times get hard and they need to let some people go, or they need to cut. 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen is that they're going to cut at the lower level first, mainly because at the lower level, these are the people with the least amount of education and the least amount of skills. The people at the higher level, usually who make the most money. Now, not to say that they don't get cut, because sometimes they get cut too. But if I'm thinking statistically, because that's how we talk on this channel. If I think statistically, the people at the higher level, say white collar, they are usually gonna get cut last. Why? Experience, education, also level of responsibility. Times when I have worked in corporate America, especially for manufacturing facilities, manufacturing plants, I've typically had to manage a couple $100 million here or there. Not saying that someone at the plant level doesn't do that, or blue collar doesn't do that, but mostly they don't. And having that level of responsibility, a lot of times a corporation, as I gave the example in the very beginning, a person at a corporation, they're going to want somebody to have a lot more experience in education. So y'all, I just really want to get on here and talk about that. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. There's a lot going on right now from a manufacturing perspective. You guys see a lot of the big three is striking right now because they're not being fairly compensated, fair wages. And granted, I don't know a lot about that because I don't work in the automotive industry anymore. But I can imagine that there are some feelings about, hey, you know, this person at the very top is getting paid this. I should be getting paid more than what I'm getting paid too. Man, it's a crazy time right now, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, though. Tap in. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on education. Let me know what you think about going to college. I love to hear back from you. All right? And we're going to cut it from here. Peace out, y'all.